has my reading books in Chinese. There's a few novels and some non-fiction as well. Disregard this is just journals. We have these ones. So they had a bunch of stories that, like, I already know. I got Bambi and The Wizard of Oz, but there was tons and tons of different ones. And I thought these would be great for me because they have the pinyin as well as the characters. So it's a little bit easier for me to try and read. I started trying to read Bambi. This one, the novel of the drama Go-Go Squid. I really, really loved the drama. So I thought I'd brought the book because, well, one, it's really pretty. And two, I thought it'd be a good challenge. It is, you know, way above my level, but I'll get there one day. These two are non-fiction books I bought about coffee because I love coffee. I thought it'd be fun to learn some kind of more specific vocab surrounding coffee. It's all about like the history of coffee. And then this one, which is again just about sort of how coffee is made, where it came from. Oh, what's that? Again, I haven't really started reading these yet because they are a bit above my level, but I couldn't resist buying them. And then these two tend to pick stories that I already know when I'm looking for books for Chinese. So this is Charlotte's Web, which I read at school. I used to love this story. So, and I believe, yes, it's also got the English at the back. So I can kind of pair it up if needs be to try and help me figure it out without having to use a dictionary all the time. And also Le Petit Prince. Why is there just so many numbers? Look at all that. That's just loads of numbers. Okay. I know it's a popular one for people to read in foreign languages. Over on this side, I have my flashcards. These are the ones that I bought from Tuttle. Is that how you pronounce it? That's how I've always said it. The flashcards, these are it's the purple box. I can't remember what level it is. I think it might be level 3. I'll write it down below. But what I started doing was going through all of the packs and picking out the ones that I've already learnt. And then putting them on this keyring so that I can review them. Here, these are the flashcards that I got from my Mandarin school. And they have a pen that goes with them that has like audio. But I don't actually know if you can buy those separately. So I won't talk about those too much. Next, I'm going to talk about this shelf, the best shelf, the textbook shelf. Let's start at this end. This is actually my boyfriend's learning English book. In the same series, it's actually exactly the same book. I bought this. This is for learning Korean. But now that I've kind of got a grips on the alphabet, this is the same. I can use this a lot more. So, those are not Chinese ones. So I'll go into more detail about some of them in a minute. This one is a little pocket-sized, actually for learning English, and it's just got a lot of very kind of useful everyday phrases, and it's got a little like mini disc that I've got no idea how to play because I don't have a mini disc player. I mean, I don't even have a CD player anymore. I don't know anyone that does. This, I've talked about this on my Instagram before. I love this book. So this is just like a dictionary with lots of pictures, which is just really good for building vocab. It's got some very specific things that I'm never actually going to need to learn. I don't think I'm ever going to need the word for pruners. I've been kind of going through it and like just picking and choosing the words to learn that I think would be of use. This one, a hanzi book. I've not actually really used this very much, but it's quite good to have as a reference. These 3 I bought in Taiwan. I will talk about all 3 of those actually in more detail. This one is actually a kid's book for learning characters. So it's got like stroke order. It's quite good for basic vocab. These ones, tuttle. I will talk about those some more. This one is one of my favourite books, but I will show you through that one. New Practical Reader. I've actually not really started using them, so I won't actually talk about those. And then lastly, these are the HSK standard course books. If I can get it out. They look like this, and I've used these since level 1. The first books that I'm going to talk about are these ones. I bought these in Taiwan. So they have traditional, but these are great because they have traditional and simplified, which is super helpful. They have, I believe, seven books in the series. I went for this one, which is shopping and eating out, and the travelling ones. I would love to have bought them all, but you know, I was limited on suitcase space. So, like I said, each one has got, they have the traditional, they have the pinyin, they have English, and they have simplified. And they're really well laid out. They're kind of broken down into different topics. In this one, I saw it, they have, so here we have like, you may hear and you may say, which is super helpful. Quite often I find that I learn sentences, I learn questions, so I can ask lots of questions, but I don't necessarily learn possible answers, which is kind of scary, because it's like, well, yeah, I can ask them how to go to this place, but I don't know what he's going to say to me. I'm not going to understand the answer. So that's super useful. So putting items on reserve, that's something I've never learned how to say. Not that I think I ever would do that, but you know, there's lots of different things at different levels in this, so you can take from it what you want. These, if you can get hold of them, these are very, very good. They're well structured, and they've got lots of, well, situational Chinese, lots of very good everyday kind of things that you would need to know if you are living or working here. As it says, an A to Z of grammar, basically, and it's huge, and there's so much stuff in there, and I assume that it's kind of like all levels, so this is going to last me forever, this book. It's going to be amazing. And it's just so pretty. It's just, it feels nice as well. You know when books feel nice? This book feels nice. I'll give you a quick look. We have the grammar point, and then you have like the usage, the function, the usage, and then on some of the other ones we also have structure, and then if you can negate it, or you can turn it into a question, or like this. And they all have examples. So just for this one grammar point, there's 1, 3, 6, 9, 12 example phrases for one grammar point. So if, like me, you're the kind of person that needs to learn context when I learn grammar, like I need to learn it in a sentence, this is fantastic. It is all traditional characters, but I am trying to learn traditional characters alongside, so it's quite useful for me. But if you're not interested in traditional characters, or you're not studying them, maybe it's not the best book for you, but personally, like, I'm kind of obsessed with this. Solid 10 out of 10 for me. And that's coming from someone who hates grammar. Next one, this one I bought here in China. I bought this on Taobao. I will have a look and see if I can find it on like Amazon or something, and I'll put a link down below if I can. This is Chinese Express, Practice Chinese. This is, I really, really like this book. I'm currently studying HSK 4, and I would say this is kind of just about the right level. So when I'm looking through it, like the new vocab that they cover, some of it I already know and some of it I don't. So in one chapter, maybe I know half of it, depending on the chapter. So like this one, for example, it says keeping fit. Okay, so a lot of these I already know. And there are other ones, like there's one in here about, where is it? One about the bank. I don't know any of those words. And there's one at the bank. And they've got all the vocab there. Okay, 3 of those words I know. So, you know, it depends on what the topic of the chapter is. But this is, it says here on the back,
it is designed for English speakers who have finished a beginner's course in Chinese and would like to continue their learning at an intermediate level.
So, you know, if you're HSK 3, HSK 4, I would say this is a fantastic book. I really like how it's set up. So there are 40 dialogues in the whole book. I'm on about number 6, but I'm already obsessed with it. And basically, let me show you how it works. So, you have, starting here, so you have the vocab list, then you have the small story. So you've got like sets the scene, and then you have the dialogue. It's mostly in forms of dialogue. You have the pinyin and you have the characters, and then afterwards you have it in English. So I find it really useful to have the English separate, because I don't know about you guys, but I find if the English is there, my eyes just like, look at the English. I'm like, no, look at the Chinese. And my eyes are like, nope, English. After that you have language points, so language or grammar, and then you have exercises that go with it. If you're living or working here, it's very much kind of the stuff you'd want to be using, maybe not every day, because hopefully you're not going to the bank every day, because that takes like 3 hours to get anything done at the bank. It's very useful things that you're learning in here for conversing with people, for getting stuff done whilst living here. And you can have audio. There's audio. Where is it? Down there. You just go on the website. There's no CDs involved. The next ones, these are the Tuttle publishing books. There's volume 1 and volume 2. Basically, I haven't even touched volume 2 because I'm a terrible student. These are kind of beginner level, but if, like me, you never actually learned stroke order, then these are fantastic. As you can see, they go through the stroke order of each one for the new characters. So you have loads of exercises there that you can do, which is really good practice. One of my quarantine goals in my 2 weeks here in quarantine is to finish both of these, because I should be able to fly through them relatively quickly because I know all of the characters already. I just don't know them, if you get me. They are on the list of things to do. And lastly, the famous standard course. These are great if you are planning to take HSK exams because they follow the right structure, and a lot of the exercises are kind of in the format of how an exam is. The workbooks especially, they are basically exactly what an exam is like. So you have like the dialogues, and then you have the pinyin on a separate page, and then you have no English. So that's the only downside if you are using these books to self-study, is there is no English translation of the dialogues. Yeah, as long as you can have someone, you've got someone that can check them for you or help you translate them, then you're grand. For me personally, some of the grammar I find is not described very well. They use very grammar-y words, and sometimes that just kind of goes a bit over my head. So you might need to use something like Chinese Grammar Wiki or something like that to help clarify any points. And also some of the exercises in the actual textbook are a bit weird. Like there are even exercises where I've just been like, I don't know how to answer this, and my teacher's just looked at it and gone, yeah, skip that one. But the workbooks are fantastic, like I said, especially if you're trying to do the exams, because they are set up exactly like an exam is. So that was my little bookshelf tour, as you can see over there. And yeah, these are the books that I mainly use, that I rely on quite a lot for my studies. If you have any questions about any of the books, even some of the ones that I didn't go into more depth about, just leave a comment down there and I will get back to you. I'll put all the names and the authors down below, and I'll specify where I bought them. Any other questions, let me know down there or get at me on Instagram. I will do my best to answer. If there is any other type of videos you would like to see, then please also let me know. If you are just beginning to learn Chinese, you can check out my How to Start Learning Chinese video. And if you're looking for some more online resources, you can also check out my video about apps and websites and TV shows that I use for studying Chinese. I hope that all of this has been helpful for you, and I shall see you next time. 加油!